Have you ever wondered why some of the most intelligent people in history were silenced, ridiculed, or even punished? Socrates was sentenced to death for asking questions. Galileo was forced to deny his discoveries because they challenged the church. Even today, whistleblowers, innovators, and critical thinkers are often pushed aside, not because they are wrong, but because they are too right. Society thrives on order, predictability, and control. But intelligence disrupts that comfort. It questions the unquestionable. It sees through illusions. It asks, why do we do this, and who really benefits? And that, my friends, is dangerous. Not because intelligence causes harm, but because it exposes the truths that powerful systems don't want revealed. So today, I want to break down 6 reasons why intelligence is society's biggest threat. These reasons will show you not only why smart minds are feared, but also why they are desperately needed. Because in a world that celebrates ignorance and comfort, true intelligence doesn't just shine, it scares. Point 1. Intelligence challenges authority. Intelligence is threatening because it questions authority, and authority thrives on unquestioned obedience. Governments, corporations, and even religious institutions depend on people following rules without asking too many whys. Intelligent people, however, refuse to blindly follow. They analyze, they compare, and they demand justification. Think about it, when someone in power says, "This is the law," most people nod their heads and obey. But the intelligent person asks, "Why is this the law? Who benefits from it? Who suffers?" That simple act of questioning can destabilize entire power structures. History gives us countless examples. Socrates questioned the morality of Athenian democracy and was sentenced to death. Martin Luther challenged the authority of the Catholic Church and sparked the Reformation. Every revolution, every reform, every major social change, started with an intelligent mind that dared to challenge authority. For society, this is dangerous. Intelligent people become troublemakers, rebels, or dissidents, simply because they don't accept things at face value. Authority fears them because intelligence spreads, it inspires others to think for themselves. And when enough people start thinking, obedience collapses. This is why intelligence is society's biggest threat, it refuses to bow down. It forces leaders to justify themselves. And when leaders can't justify their actions, their power begins to crumble. Point 2. Intelligence exposes lies. Society runs on stories, some true, many false. We are told what success means, what happiness looks like, who the good guys are, and who the bad guys are. Media, politics, and even culture rely on carefully constructed illusions to keep people in line. They recognize when facts are twisted, when propaganda is dressed as truth, when history is rewritten to serve the powerful. They are like human lie detectors. This is terrifying for society because lies are the glue that hold many systems together. For example, advertising tells us that buying more products will make us happy. Politics tells us that one side is pure evil and the other is perfect. Religion sometimes tells us that suffering is holy. But intelligence whispers, wait, is that really true? And once a lie is exposed, people can't unsee it. They begin to resist manipulation. They stop buying into the game. That is why whistleblowers are often silenced, journalists are censored, and thinkers are mocked. Not because they are wrong, but because they are right, and the truth is dangerous. Intelligence doesn't just scare society, it threatens its illusions. And illusions are the foundation of control. Point 3. Intelligence rejects conformity. Society depends on conformity. Schools, workplaces, and communities all encourage people to act, think, and even dress alike. Fit in, we're told. Don't stand out. Because conformity makes people predictable, and predictability makes them easy to control. But intelligent people don't conform. They think differently, act differently, and often live differently. They refuse to mold themselves into society's templates. Instead of chasing what everyone else is chasing, status, money, approval, they chase truth, knowledge, and authenticity. This rejection of conformity scares society because it threatens unity. If one person breaks away from the herd, others may follow. And soon, the system loses its grip. Look at history's greatest innovators, Einstein, Tesla, Da Vinci. They didn't play by society's rules. They were misfits, outsiders, rebels. And yet, their nonconformity changed the world. Of course, society doesn't celebrate nonconformists when they're alive. It labels them as weird, arrogant, or dangerous. Only after they're gone, when their intelligence has reshaped the world, does society finally praise them. This is why intelligent people scare society. They are unpredictable. They refuse to be molded. And when someone stops conforming, they become a mirror, showing everyone else just how trapped they are. Point 4. Intelligence sees future consequences, 400 words. Most people live in the present, seeking comfort, avoiding pain, following trends. Society is built on short-term thinking, elections every few years, quarterly profits for companies, instant gratification through consumerism. But intelligent people? They see beyond the present. They see patterns, predict consequences, and understand where current actions will lead. This long-term vision is threatening to society because it exposes the cost of its short-sightedness. For example, intelligent thinkers warned about climate change decades ago. They saw the environmental destruction that unchecked industrial growth would bring. But society ignored them, because immediate profits mattered more than future survival. Today, those consequences are undeniable. Similarly, intelligent people warn about the dangers of AI, over-reliance on technology, and growing social inequality. They see where things are heading while society clings to comfort and denial. This foresight is threatening because it disrupts the narrative of everything is fine. Intelligent people remind society that today's choices create tomorrow's disasters. And instead of listening, society often attacks them for being negative or alarmist. In reality, intelligence scares society because it sees too far. It breaks the illusion of security. It forces people to confront uncomfortable truths about the future they are blindly creating. Point 5. Intelligence values truth over comfort. Human beings crave comfort. They want to feel safe, accepted, and reassured. That's why society thrives on traditions, rituals, and comforting beliefs. Even if those beliefs are false. But intelligent people? They don't settle for comfort if it means sacrificing truth. They would rather face a painful truth than live inside a beautiful lie. And this is deeply unsettling to a society built on comfort-first living. Consider religion, politics, or even personal relationships. Many people prefer comforting lies over harsh truths. He still loves me. The government protects us. The economy is stable. These illusions keep people functioning. But intelligent individuals refuse to live in denial. They dig deeper. They ask hard questions. They expose uncomfortable realities. This makes them unpopular. Truth-tellers often sound harsh, cold, or insensitive. They strip away illusions that people cling to for emotional survival. But in reality, they are offering freedom, the freedom that comes from seeing clearly. Society fears this kind of intelligence because it disrupts the collective dream. It forces people to wake up from comfort and face responsibility. And waking up is painful. Thus, intelligence is a threat not because it destroys, but because it insists on truth, no matter how uncomfortable. Point 6. Intelligence cannot be controlled. The ultimate reason why intelligence is society's biggest threat is simple: it cannot be controlled. You can control money, armies, and even fear, but you cannot control a free mind. Intelligent people are independent thinkers. They don't blindly accept authority. They don't fall for lies. They don't conform, and they don't prioritize comfort over truth. They are, in essence, uncontrollable. This makes them dangerous to systems that depend on control. Dictators fear them because they can't be brainwashed. Corporations fear them because they can't be manipulated into blind consumerism. Even communities fear them because they disrupt traditions and norms. Intelligence is like fire, it spreads. One intelligent person can ignite the minds of thousands. That is why society tries to silence thinkers, censor writers, and ridicule visionaries. It's not intelligence itself that's dangerous, it's the ripple effect it creates. And yet, this uncontrollable nature is exactly what makes intelligence valuable. It is the seed of progress, the spark of revolutions, the source of every great invention and social reform. Society may fear intelligence, but it cannot survive without it. Because while intelligence threatens the present order, it also builds the future.